All I want is my children. They will not give them to me. They have threatened to have me arrested and punched me in the throat and grabbed me by the throat, but he continuously was assaulting me so that I could not take my children.
Was there ever a weapon, knife, anything like that?
She stabbed me with a kitchen knife.
Ma'am.
You need to walk away.
Ma'am.
My children were taken from my home.
In Jacksonville, police were called to a domestic violence scene involving a woman named Amanda Robertson, who was clearly intoxicated. Amanda claimed her neighbors had taken her children and were trying to keep them from her. At the same time, she alleged her partner had been violent and insisted her children were safe in her care. So, how does this situation unfold for the officer on duty? Let's find out.
I have primary custody. None of these do. They came into my home, they took my children, they walked them up here. If I do not give my children, I am pressing charges.
Okay. Well, where do you live at? Hey, okay.
Right there. Shut up.
Hey, you're talking to me.
Okay.
So, what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Amanda Robertson.
All right, so what happened? What led up to all this?
Me and my fiance were drinking. He got physical. I mean, I can show you the cuts and all over my feet.
You said Robertson or Robinson?
Robertson.
Spell it for me.
His name is Timothy Daniel.
Okay.
He actually has a court date next month.
Spell your last name for me.
Roberson. We've both been drinking. My kids are taken care of. I honestly don't know what led up to it. I'm pretty sure he broke my ankle. To be very honest with you, It's really hard to walk. They took my kids from me. I have primary custody. He's not even on the birth certificate. Him and these two neighbors over here came down to my house, escorted my children out of my home. This was one of my neighbors who was trying to help escalate it all and be like, hey, this is what y'all need to do. Calm down, blah, blah, blah. They were fantastic. These neighbors came down, took my f***ing children, and walked them up here. The guy right here, named Timothy Daniel, he has a court date next month for beating the shit out of me.
Okay, so...
All I want is my children. They will not give them to me. They have threatened to have me arrested.
So how did you hurt your ankle?
Because he shoved me down and grabbed me by my throat.
Where at on your throat?
I don't know if you couldn't even see it. I stood up immediately and I told Lisa to get out of my house. She would not leave my house. She told me that y'all were going to take my children.
At this point, it's clear to the officer that Amanda is heavily intoxicated. She can barely stay on her feet. This raises a crucial question. Who's really at fault here?
That she was going to take my children regardless. Ray?
Ma'am,
Ray?
I need to know.
Would you and Kristen mind coming out here, please? I'm being told that I was neglecting my children.
Was all this, did it all happen inside the house or
Yes.
outside? Okay.
Inside. He brought all the neighbors down. They all took my children, which he doesn't even have rights to, out of my home.
Is it y'all's children together?
It's our children together, but he is not legitimized. They are my children.
Are y'all married?
No.
At the time her children were born, Amanda was still legally married, so by law, they couldn't take the last name of their biological father, who wasn't her husband.
No, just dating?
Yes.
Okay. How long y'all been together?
4 years.
Okay. Now,
He was told not to. He did anyways. She told me she would have me arrested if I tried to take my children. He not only stomped on my ribs and punched me in the throat and grabbed me by the throat, but he continuously was assaulting me so that I could not take my children.
Okay.
We have a defects order open right now because of this situation. All he wanted was my kids. They're my kids. He has no legal rights. They have no legal rights. And they all came down and walked into my house bombarding me, trying to take my children.
You don't remember what the argument started about?
No, there was no reason for it to start. But I can tell you I can barely breathe because I was kicked right here. I'm not trying to show you anything in particularly like degrading. I was kicked in my ribs. I was kicked in the side of my ribs. I was kicked down here in my ribs, and my kids were taken from me. And those kids came out of my not theirs.
Okay. Let's lower our tone,
I
okay?
can't even stand on my left leg right
Okay.
now because the one in the blue shirt.
Are you wanting an ambulance?
I'm sorry?
Do you want an ambulance?
I don't want an ambulance, but I do want my children.
Okay.
And if they don't give me my children, then I'm going to press charges against Jackson County.
Let me get this straight. So y'all had an argument
Yeah.
inside the house.
Yes.
And then he left.
Yes. And he came and got all the neighbors involved.
And then that's when they came and got the kids out of the house?
They all came down. They all took my kids. They all told me to go myself.
How many kids?
I have 2 boys.
2 boys?
I have an autistic 3-year-old in a DFAX case from his dad trying to commit suicide from Xanax.
Okay, so how you spell his first name?
I'm sorry. Can I please sit down?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he stomped on my ankle and
Okay.
I really can't.
So where were the kids at when all this happened?
My kids were asleep.
Did they wake up
No.
from it, or?
Not until Dad started making the point that the neighbors were going to take my children out of the house.
Okay.
We've already discussed that if Dad pulled any more of this, that he would be subject to a temporary protective order against the children.
Okay.
Bodycam memory is full, so it's no longer recorded.
Do I?
They've taken my children. Can my children please come home with me now?
Not just yet.
Okay, that makes no sense because they're strangers and he's not legitimate
Well,
as the father.
The sense is being made because right now we're investigating a domestic dispute. So right now we're keeping everybody where we're at before we do
So
anything.
my children can
Okay.
be in the hands of somebody who
And your
they don't
children's
belong
inside
to.
right now, safe. Okay?
They're not safe.
They are safe.
I don't know these people. That does not make them safe.
Okay, well right now, until we get done with our investigation, this is what's going to happen.
Okay, when she started drinking, she got violent.
It was Amanda's partner who called 911, asking for police assistance, a risky move, considering he was currently on probation. But as the officer begins hearing his side of the story, the next step starts to become clear.
Pull the door shut.
Got into, she was busting the doors down. I poured her vodka out, is why she got mad initially. So she went to the change jar and she went back to the liquor store and I guess got more vodka. And when she came back, she was drunk and belligerent. She then kicked the doors in and everything else, put her hands on me.
Did you run everybody?
Not yet.
Oh, wait.
That's when the next stuff happened and everything else, and she was choking me. I pushed her off of me. She jumped on my back. I fell on the ground. Pretty sure I broke my hand when I fell. She latched onto my ear and
Well, like
took
her
my ear
hand?
off. No, she bit me. She
Okay.
bit my ear, about took my ear off. And after all that happened, I left and I went to Brazelton Police Department. And I didn't call anybody. I just wanted a consult on what I could do. In all honesty, I was scared for my children's sake or my sake, seeing as I'm on probation. So, and when I got back, apparently the neighbors had to wheel her back in on that wagon while I was gone because she was unconscious in the driveway. When I got back, I went back down in there and she was already belligerent and stuff again. They had my youngest son. She didn't even know where he was. And my 3-year-old was still down there.
Mm-hmm.
And she was still raising hell and belligerent. So I came back up here and Kristen, the neighbor, went down there to go try and console her and talk to her and everything else, and apparently she passed out again. And she called us up there. She said she needed help, so me and Lisa went down there, and she was unconscious on the floor. So Lisa picked her up and was trying to get her conscious again and everything else, and she told her that she had to call the police, that they were going to come take the kids and everything else, which her off. So she got up and started putting her hands on Lisa, and I pushed her off of Lisa, and I got my son and I got him dressed and I brought him out of there and brought him to the neighbor's house. Actually, she was holding him when she came out of the house, and she came after her again. And that's when I blocked her from trying to hit her, and she hit the porch right there. And then we've been up here ever since, and I called you guys.
Okay. Was there ever a weapon, knife, anything
Yeah,
like
she
that?
stabbed me with a kitchen knife.
How did she do that? Like, what was
It was just a kitchen knife. She just grabbed a knife and came at me and stabbed me.
underhand, overhand?
Overhand.
Okay. Has this happened in the past?
Yep.
How many times before?
A couple. With the drinking and the getting violent.
Okay. What does all this start over?
It was literally just drinking. I told her I was going to poker tonight. It's Father's Day. She didn't like that and got mad.
Okay. And then that's when the fight
Well,
ensued.
that's when she started cussing and calling me names and everything else. And I was like, look, it's alcohol every single time. And I went and I dumped the alcohol. And that's when she started getting madder, and she left and she went and got more alcohol. And when she came back, that's when it was the blind rage. She didn't come back with any alcohol.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she drank that before she got back.
Where'd the marks come from on her?
She's got marks on her neck area. I pushed her off of me as she's sitting there choking me.
Okay.
And I pushed her off of me multiple times as she's coming at me with a knife.
Is that how she hurt her legs as well? Or
That,
foot?
or when she hit the porch just a second ago when I blocked her, she was trying to attack Lisa. I don't know where the leg one came from. I did push her off of me multiple times as she came at me with that knife.
Okay. And it's y'all's children together, correct?
Yes. Legally, she is still married. They are my children, but because she is still married, they were not allowed to give them my last name. Which she likes to use on that aspect, but they're my kids.
Can I see your hands?
Let me guess, he told you I hit him.
Well, I mean, how did he get marks on him? I understand how you got marks on you, but how did he get marks on him?
A small stab wound.
He literally walked out with her as she threatened me as the police were coming.
Okay.
I don't know how he got marks on him. You can see my hands. There's no marks on my hands. So, I mean, clearly my feet are beat up from him dragging me. I mean, I can't do that to myself, clearly.
Okay. Again, do you want to talk to the med unit while they're here?
No, I'm okay. My kids are not going to be included because of a bitch that doesn't know what's going on. And him, who is literally lied to you guys every time y'all came out.
Okay.
He literally tried to commit suicide not even 2 months ago and has a court date coming up for it because he tried to attack me to the point my kid's stepfather broke his jaw and he had to have reconstructive facial surgery.
Okay. Well, since you're denied a med unit, okay, you're going to be placed under arrest for family violence, battery, and aggravated assault.
How am I being arrested for that when he literally put his hands on me?
Put your hands behind your back.
Where are my kids going? Where are my kids going when he put his hands on me?
Well, they are his kids.
They're not his kids.
Then we'll call defects.
Okay, call defects then. They're calling defects, TJ. Congratulations for lying about putting your hands on me.
Come on.
I did not put my hands on him first.
You don't have to put him on first, but it's called a predominant aggressor.
What does that mean?
Predominant aggressor means that y'all are both equally involved in the initial or primary, but predominant means...
I walked a little slower because he kind of broke my ankle, sprained my ankle, something. That's he came and he put his hands on me and I walked away. So why am I being the one arrested?
Because he's got marks on him.
And so do I.
Yep.
Look
and
at my feet.
I'm going to notate that. Hold on 1 second.
Back and my leg is up from him
Put
dropping.
your foot back out.
You're losing your kids.
Both kids are at that neighbor's house. Did you know that?
They're my kids.
Okay, they're at that neighbor's house where you let them.
Because my neighbors told me
You thought they were in here.
Because the woman that is sitting on the porch told me she was gonna take my children and to myself.
Okay. So you don't want to leave your kids with your boyfriend?
No, he has no rights to those children.
Wait, that's a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Is he not daddy?
So is he the one, the baby's actual father? Yes or no?
Not on documentation, so I'm
Yes
gonna
or
say
no?
no.
Not on documentation. Biological, yes.
Not legitimized.
They're
Not legit.
biologically mine. But because she was married at the hospital during COVID era and everything else, they could not take my last name. They had to take her last name, which is his last name.
What time did all this start?
Yeah, about 6, a little before 6. Can you fill me in a little bit? I'm kind of panicking.
Well, that's why I'm trying to call right now. I gotta make sure.
I can't keep my kids.
Do what?
I can't keep my kids.
I've got to call and confirm that.
I didn't know what was coming.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be
Right now, I'm trying to figure it out.
panicking. I didn't know if y'all were taking me. That's why I was scared to call y'all in the first place. Didn't
No,
know how
because
it was gonna
the way Family Violence Act works in Georgia is it no longer goes by a primary aggressor, it goes by a predominant aggressor. Okay, because I can determine she's a predominant aggressor or mean a more
That's what
violent.
the guy at Brazelton was telling me, that it's gotten complicated in the
Yeah.
past year or so.
So, no, in this case, not both of you's going to go.
Okay. I'm not understanding on reason why I wouldn't be able to have my kids. I mean, I understand because it's difficult on the aspect of them not having my last name and me not being legitimized. They've been in my care for 3 years.
I get that, but legitimacy works the majority of the time here. So that's why I gotta call and see. All right, so I'm just waiting on DFAS to give me a call back. So it's gonna be a minute, okay?
Hey, can I please talk to you for a second?
What do you got?
We're already dealing with T-Fax. I am the primary caregiver. Those kids are in my custody. That's not even a legalized father that you're leaving my children with.
What did I say?
You didn't see anything.
I did. I said I'm waiting on DFAS to call me back.
Can you please loosen these just a little bit? Then I'm not gonna try to run, but I can't move.
You can't move?
I can't move my arms.
Okay, listen, okay?
These are my babies.
Hey, if you turn your body and you kind of turn this way with your whole body, that way your back's not pushing up against the handcuffs. It makes it a lot better.
It's my broken wrist I don't want to talk about it. I've been feeling a lot.
Okay.
And he's one of them. It hurts.
Okay.
It hurts really bad. And I will try. But please, I am begging you. Please do not take my kids.
You say you don't want us to take your kids?
No.
So you don't want DFAX involved now?
DFAX is already involved.
Okay, do you want...
Because of him, he tried to commit with my children in the house.
Do you want the kids to go to DFAX, or do you want to leave them with the father?
They're not staying with the father, no.
Well, then they got to go somewhere.
Okay, then they'll go to DFAX. He's an abuser.
Okay, then that's what I'm doing.
He abuses me in front of the children.
Do you not have any other family around here?
No. And he lost his oldest child from being an abusive father to the mother there, too. And the neighbor who wants to run her mouth just came down there trying to be helpful to turn around and tell me she's calling y'all.
Well, I mean...
I'm telling you, my kids were asleep. They were okay. I don't understand what is going on.
I gotta call DFAX. Hold on.
Okay. Look, I know you can be scared of me. You don't have to be. Oh my kids are my what?
Okay.
My son is autistic. He can't speak. I am his lifeblood. My youngest is barely starting to speak. I did nothing wrong. I did not do anything wrong. I did not get physical. I did not get hostile. I did not do any of that. All I asked him to do was leave me alone. And he headbutted me and he stomped me in my ribs and he choked me. And I still let it go. If I would have called y'all, I would not be at the point of my wrist being cut into right now. But he took my phone. So I didn't have the option. So my kids.
Ma'am, I'm looking at the handcuffs right now, and you have plenty of room on both of them.
You think so?
You've already slid them up to your palms.
You want to see the lines on my arms?
You've already slid them up to your palms. I can see where they're moving. I have actually. Thank you very much.
When?
In our training.
Okay. Well, this is not loose.
That is loose. When they wiggle up and down, and I can fit my pinky in between them, they are loose.
So basically what you're going to tell me is you're going to listen to him, and you're going to listen to the female who drinks alcohol on a regular and fights with her husband. The other female that drives around drunk on a 24/7 basis.
I listen to both of y'all.
You're not listening to none of us. I am the only one in the car in handcuffs.
Yes.
He's out there and body slammed me, punched me in the face, stomped me in the ribs.
With physical testimony,
called you.
With physical evidence, I can determine that you're the predominant aggressor.
Really?
Correct.
And I did not put my hands on him. Once.
Okay.
Not even once.
Okay.
So you're wrong.
I'm wrong?
You are. You're listening to a criminal. Somebody who has felonies and misdemeanors
I've listened to you too, right?
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
How have I not?
Because you're sitting here telling me that you heard everything he had to say. I have no criminal record. Try that again.
I don't need to look at criminal record. I look at what happened right now.
What happened right now?
And that'll be in the report.
It won't be.
It will be.
It won't be. It'll be false accusations because you don't know what happened because you didn't get my side of the story.
I've got your side of the story multiple times and it's been recorded on body camera. And audio.
Congratulations.
So there's two different audios.
Congratulations. My story has not changed.
Okay.
They watched him literally stomp me in the ribs and did nothing about it.
Okay.
Close the door. Look, you can wipe it, whatever. I mean, I don't care if you grab
Here you
it
go.
here. That's not long enough. It's all over. It's gonna be all over the back seat of your car.
That's
And
fine.
I just like, God.
Hold on, let me see if I got. Let me see if.
Stomp on my ribs, and I'm the one going to
Hold on.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm.
Keep this moment in mind, because later, Amanda claims the officer never made any effort to help her, not even to wipe away her tears or clean up her face.
I'm legitimately asking, what is the precautions of a man stomping on a woman's ribs? How do you handle that? Because you're going off of hearsay from somebody who was there less than 4 minutes. I got marks to prove it. How are you going to handle that before I take an attorney to court on this?
I took in your side of the story. I took in his side of the story.
You have not taken my whole side of the
Based
story.
off the totality of
You put me in handcuffs before you even spoke to me.
Are you going to let me talk, or are you going to? No, I did not.
You did. You did.
I put you in handcuffs before I
You put
talked
me
to
in
you.
handcuffs after listening to 4 folks sitting on that porch that have no clue what they're talking about.
I sat there and
you
talked
can
to
say
you.
ma'am all you want. That does
Okay.
not change it.
I'm
I'll
not-
talk to Kimberly.
So it's going to be bad for you. But I don't know how long it's going to take for them to get here. But that's what you're looking at. And then once the
What am I
caseworker...
looking at?
Do what?
They're coming to get kids.
Mm-hmm. Once the caseworker gets here, you can talk to the caseworker. And if they deem you fit, they might leave him with you. But they're going to interview you as well and talk to you about it all.
Just remember the long game. It ain't about the short game. Okay?
Can I go see my kids, please?
Do what?
Can I go see and
I'm about to take her once we get him over.
Call them, ask him, do you have their direct number?
Who's?
Defects.
I got the one that just called. She don't know the ETA. She's going to get the closest one to us.
Ask her if he's allowed to obviously sit with the kids. I don't see an issue
Hey,
with it.
Mason,
But
because they got to get up.
if it's out of our hands, I just need authorization.
Real quick question. Is there going to be an issue with him just sitting with the kids until y'all get here? Yeah. Okay.
He wanted to make sure they understood the 3-year-old is autistic.
He's autistic. He's never knows anything but me and his mother. He's gonna panic.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Look at me for 1 second. Look at me. Hey, bud. Look at me for 1 second.
Give me a second.
She said no. So
I can't even see them.
not.
Let's wait till they get here. Okay? Understand, how your kids see you is how they're going to react. Okay? If it's bad news on your face, that's how they're going to react. Okay? It's hard. Being a father is hard. It is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Just remember, it's all about the kids. It ain't about you. It ain't about their mama. It's all about you. Or it's all about the kids.
All
Okay?
about the kids, yeah.
It's clear from the scene that a physical altercation took place. Furniture is tipped over, and the floor is a mess. Everything TJ told the officers appears to line up, further confirming the officers' initial instincts.
Can you please explain me why I have not read my rights or what I'm being arrested for?
I advised you what you're being arrested for. I do not have to read you Miranda because I have not questioned you after I've taken you into custody.
You do have to read me my rights.
I actually don't unless I'm going to question you about anything while you are being detained or in custody.
So you don't have to tell me why I'm being detained. You can just take
I
me
did.
to-
As you were sitting down,
What did you say then?
I said you were being placed under arrest for family violence, battery, aggravated assault, and cruelty to children in the third.
Battery when I put my hands on nobody. But I had 4 neighbors at my house telling me that they were calling the police and taking my kids. Alright. Let's go to court on this.
Yeah, she just admitted that they smoke in the house.
No, I didn't say they. Don't change my words. You're being recorded, douchebag. I said he. I said he is smoking one in the house. let's not add detrimental shit to that next to your job. This isn't my first rodeo, neither is it yours. I'll work with you when you work with me. You want to be petty? I'll be petty. Thank you, I appreciate it. Are you gonna wipe it for me?
I did already once.
No, you didn't. Don't lie. No, the you didn't. You're on camera. Let's remember
Yeah, and I
that.
saved this napkin from when I did it earlier.
No, you did not.
Okay.
Nice try, though. Body cam right there. Let's do this. Let's do this, babe.
What are you charging her?
I'm taking. Sit up.
Later.
Do what?
Just later. I'm putting to your back seat.
No, I'm taking you. Just don't now. Okay?
Where are you taking me?
To the jail.
Okay, well, I'm gonna your back seat before we get there.
What are you charging her with?
30-minute ride. I can't hold it.
Ag.
Ag assault, battery, and cruelty to children.
Thanks.
Cruelty to children? Good luck. Prove it, motherfucker.
Amanda was later charged with multiple serious offenses, including aggravated assault, battery, third-degree cruelty to children, felony terroristic threats. As of now, it remains unclear whether she was allowed to keep custody of her children after the events of that evening. If you enjoyed this video and you're into true crime, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories just like this one. Your support really helps the channel grow, and it means a lot. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep the truth alive. This is Hann Files.